Now recognize Ranking Member of the Appropriations Committee, Representative DeLauro. You are now recognized for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I recognize Chairwoman Fox as well, and Ranking Member McGovern, members of the committee. I'm opposed to this one-year continuing resolution. This is not a clean CR. This bill is a blank check. It's a blank check for Elon Musk and President Trump. And as the White House has said, it creates more flexibility for this administration to steal from the middle class, from seniors, veterans, working people, small businesses, and farmers to pay for tax breaks for billionaires. Since January 20th, this administration has been undermining Article 1 of our Constitution and countless spending laws by stealing promised investments from American families, from children and businesses, unlawfully dissolving and dismantling agencies, and arbitrarily firing civil servants and canceling union contracts. I know our colleagues across the aisle have gone home to their districts and witnessed the rage from their constituents at these actions. They've been advised by their political consultants not to do town halls, to stop listening to their constituents. It really, as President Truman said, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. And they're getting out of the kitchen. And maybe it just should be getting out of being in charge. Now, what should we do? The answer should not be a full-year continuing resolution that cuts non-defense investments by $15 billion and defense by $3 billion compared to the Fiscal Responsibility Act agreement for 2025, which is reaffirmed by Leader Schumer and Speaker Johnson. A full-year CR transfers more power to the executive branch to shut off and repurpose funding as they see fit. The will of the Congress and people ignored. We are watching Elon Musk and President Trump meddle in Congress's jurisdiction already. With this full-year CR, the guardrails are off. It fails to lower costs for the American people, hurts the middle class. Elon Musk and President Trump would be able to fire thousands of employees at the Social Security Administration, resulting in office closures, longer wait times, unacceptable backlogs for Americans who are trying to access their earned benefits. Army Corps of Engineers construction projects would be cut by $1.4 billion, 44%, and President Trump, not Congress, would determine all project funding levels and who gets the funding. Instead of helping our communities address housing costs, the bill cuts rent subsidies by more than $700 million, leaving landlords to foot the bill or evict more than 32,000 households. High among the severe shortcomings of this bill are the broken promises to veterans. House Republicans wisely proposed $23 billion in advance funding for the Toxic Exposures Fund to care for veterans exposed to burn pits, Agent Orange, and other toxic substances in their own bill last summer. We do this with advance funding because we do not want to subject veterans' health care to shutdown threats or to political whims. That $23 billion in advance funding for toxic exposures has disappeared. This bill is also bad for our military. There is a reason the Department of Defense has never operated for an entire fiscal year under a CR. Trying that experiment now amidst the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the rising influence of China, would undermine the U.S.'s military effectiveness and readiness. The decisions about the investments we make cannot be entrusted in or controlled by one single office holder. Government spending decisions must be the result of broad compromise among the people's representatives. That has been the historical past of the Appropriations Committee and its work, and that's for good reason. Our positions in this body are temporary. We are but stewards of our system of government, and that stewardship requires preserving the separation of powers and co-equal branches of government as designed by the framers of the Constitution. Defined by the Supreme Court, where Antonin Scalia opined on this, the president does not have inherent authority over the amount of money that is appropriated by the Congress. All we need to do here is to follow the law and make sure that the executive is not tampering with the decisions made by the Congress. I worked to uphold and defend our power of the purse, even when that meant going against a Democratic president. I implore my colleagues to join me, stand up for our constituents against an unelected billionaire, Elon Musk, who was stealing taxpayers' dollars from American families, from our children, and from businesses. We cannot forfeit our authorities over government funding, as laid out in the Constitution, to an unelected, unchecked billionaire. The consequences felt by all our constituents are too severe. We cannot allow government of the people, by the people, for the people, to become the government of billionaires, by billionaires, and for billionaires. The first step in doing so is to oppose this bill so that we can pass a short-term bill to give Chairman Cole and I time to finish regular bills. We were very close and still are very close to getting this done where we would have year-long bills in the regular order. I think that we can all agree that that would be an improvement over a continuing resolution. I thank you and I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. I now recognize Ms. Fischbach for her time for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And first, I'd like to thank Mr. Cole and Ms. DeLauro for being here. And I appreciate you putting together, Mr. Cole,